Hey, Zara. Sorry that it ended up being so late. I didn't think it would take so much of my time tonight. I'm on my way home now, though. I won't be much longer.
That's all right. I understand the circumstances. You went to visit Ellen after work today, right? How was she? Is she doing any better recently?
Yeah, well, she looks alright from the outside. That's what she says as well. But she is going to have an operation soon, so I think she's a little anxious about it.
Yeah, I can see that. Anyone would be nervous with something like that coming up. I mean, she's still in college, and surgery isn't something most teenagers have to deal with. And she's been in and out of hospital so many times already that she must be tired of it.
Yeah, she's been pretty sick ever since she was small. There seems to be no end to it, really. She has been to the hospital for short stays a bunch of times, but this is the first time she has been there for so long.
She's been there for a while now, right? Has it been almost 2 months now this time around?
Something close to that, yeah.
It's easier to relax knowing that she is there surrounded by doctors so nothing is going to happen to her. But it must be pretty hard on her mentally being in there all day long.
Yeah, I think that's the case. She said that she was doing well when I saw her, but she seemed kind of hollow when she said it. I think she must be going through more than she wants to let on to others.
I guess she doesn't want others to worry too much about her. But if the surgery goes well this time, she will be able to start going to school again, won't she?
Yeah, she's excited for that herself, and I think looking forward to seeing her friends is helping her get through this. But there's something that she seems to be really worried about. I mean, of course she has things to worry about, but there is something other than her surgery as well.
Really? What is it that she's worried about apart from that?
Well, you know that we're the ones who are paying for her hospital bills right now. It seems that she is feeling a little sorry about that. She feels bad that we're paying that money for her. I keep telling her that she doesn't need to worry about it at all, but I don't think she can stop.
She really doesn't need to worry about that at all, though. She's your sister. Why wouldn't we help her when we can?
I know that's what I keep telling her, but she just isn't satisfied with me saying that. I wish that Mom would at least go and talk to her about it too.
What? Hasn't Jane been there to see her at all?
Not even once. And it seems like she doesn't even reply to her messages either. I know that she has always been looking after Ellen since she was born and is pretty tired from it. But it would be good of her to at least visit while she is in the hospital.
I know that she must be tired and she isn't getting any younger either. It's been even harder for her since her dad died and she had to do it all alone. I mean, just the money on its own is a big burden.
That's why I said that I would start to pay for the treatments at least. So the burden should have decreased in that sense, I think.
That's true. But Jane is the one who Ellen is living with all of the time. And she has to take care of her every single day. Even if we pay the money, it doesn't mean that everything else gets easier.
Of course, I understand that as well. But I feel so bad for Ellen having to be in the hospital all the time on her own. Hey, could you talk to my mom for me as well?
You mean to ask her to go and visit Ellen?
Yeah. I'm not saying that she needs to go and see her every day, but at least once before the surgery would be good, don't you think? I've told her a bunch of times, but she doesn't listen to me at all.
Right. She should go at least once. Ellen would really like to see her, I think. Okay, I will try to talk to her and get her to go. I don't know if she will listen to me, but I will try.
Sorry about that. Not only are we paying all this money, but now I'm asking you to get involved in my family problems as well. After things with Ellen have calmed down a little bit, why don't we go on a little trip to get away from everything?
That sounds like a nice plan, but everything with Ellen comes before that. Let's wait until the surgery is over before we start planning any holidays. By the way, it's at the end of this week that they want us to pay the next lot of payments for the hospital stay, right?
Yeah, that's right. Do we have enough in that account right now?
Yeah, all of that should be fine. I'll check later on just in case to make sure it really is there, but I'm sure I transferred the money already.
Thanks for always taking care of the money as well. I know it's a pain, but please double check later for me. It stresses me out thinking about it. Zara, do you have a little time to talk right now? There's something I wanted to ask you.
Oh, Jane! This is actually really good timing. I was just about to message you myself. What did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, you also had something to tell me. You can go ahead and tell me first.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about Ellen.
About Ellen? Why? Did something happen with her?
She seems to be nervous about the surgery coming up, but apart from that, her health seems to be good.
I see. Then what did you want to talk to me about if she is fine?
I was talking to Ryan about her 2 days ago, and I was just wondering if you wouldn't go and visit her in the hospital before her operation. I'm sure she will be able to relax a lot more if you went to see her.
Ah, so that's it. Yeah, I have been thinking that I should go pretty soon myself. I talked to her about it today as well, actually.
Oh, really? You messaged her?
Yeah, I guess I can't leave her alone for any longer than I have. I kept a little bit of distance from her, but have had a good enough break. And it's not her fault that she is sick all of the time. I should pay her a visit.
Well, of course it isn't. Nobody chooses to be sick. But did something happen? Ryan said that when he asked you to go, you would just shake your head and say no to it. Did something happen to change your mind?
Nothing specific to really mention to you. It's been hard looking after her this entire time, but I can't just keep her there and not see her like this. And the operation is getting closer and closer as well.
Right, that is true. I'm glad you have decided to go. I'm sure that Ellen will be happy to see you as well.
I hope that's the case. But in the off chance that something happens, it would be great if you could step in and help out.
Of course. I'll do what I can.
Thanks for that, Zara. But let me talk to you about what I had to say. I just got a call from the hospital just before. They told me that they made a mistake with the payment date that they sent you.
Really? So it's not this weekend?
No, they said that it's actually today. They need the money to be paid today. But you must be really busy, right? So I was thinking that I would bring the money with me to pay when I visit Ellen today.
You mean that you want to go there and pay in cash? That would be quite a lot of money to be walking around with. Are you sure that's okay?
Of course it's okay. I'm not a child after all. I'm not going to lose it or anything. And there's also the fact that I haven't been there to visit Ellen since she was admitted to the hospital. If I have another reason to go, it will make it easier for me to go and visit her.
Well, I guess I can understand what you mean there. But still, going to pay all of that money in cash? I can transfer it really quickly myself.
Are you thinking that I'm lying about this or something? That maybe I will just take the money and run off?
No, of course not. I would never think something like that. But it is still kind of dangerous to walk around with all that money. And I have to go and get the money out anyway, right? So it would actually be quicker for me to just transfer it to the hospital.
I know what you mean, but I already told them that I would go and pay it in cash today. I will come and pick it up from your place. Could you get it ready for me?
Okay, I got it. I'll go get it out and have it ready for you.
Thanks so much for understanding. I will let Ryan know about it myself so that he's not worrying about whether the fees are paid or not. I'll be there just around lunchtime. Is that enough time for you to go and withdraw the money, too?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll have the money for you by that time. I will see you soon.
Zara, I just got a call from the hospital. They said that they haven't been sent the money for Ellen's medical bills.
What? What do you mean it wasn't sent through?
That's what they said. But this is a problem that goes beyond that, right? You didn't just not pay it, it's worse than that. You've been using the money that we put aside for her treatment, haven't you? How could you spend the money that was meant for my sick sister?
Wait just a second here. What are you talking about? What do you mean I spent the money? Why is that the case?
Right after I got a call from the hospital, I got a call from my mom, too. She said that you spent all of the money meant for Ellen. This isn't even funny as a joke. What's going on?
What? Jane said that to you? That can't be right. Why would she say that?
What do you mean? Why isn't that right?
You heard from her already, didn't you? She said that she was going to take the money to the hospital herself when she went to visit Ellen. She told me that she was going to text you about it, so you didn't worry.
What are you talking about? I never heard anything about that. She didn't say a word to me about any of that.
Really? She didn't tell you anything about it? She came here to pick up the money on her way to the hospital. She said that she would talk to you herself, so I didn't even say anything to you about it.
I didn't hear anything from her at all. Seriously, what are you talking about right now?
A few days ago, Jane messaged me and told me that she had gotten a call from the hospital. Apparently, they told her that the payment date they had told us before had been a mistake and it was actually earlier. Then she said that she would bring the money to them directly. She didn't say anything to you about that?
What the hell is going on? I'm so confused right now. I haven't heard about any of this. But the fact is that the money was never paid to the hospital. What's going on right now?
Well, I don't know how to say this, but looking at the situation, isn't your mom lying about something?
But why would she do that? What reason would she have to lie to us about any of this?
I have no idea why she might have done that. I really don't. But I can't think of any other way that this has happened. I didn't spend the money, that's for sure. And it's a fact that she came here to take the money herself. I handed the cash to her in an envelope myself. So what else could be going on other than that she is lying to you and me?
It seems like that, but what the hell? We're talking about the money for her daughter's medical bills. Why on earth would she just take that?
I have no idea, like I said. I know it doesn't make sense. But if you think about it, what else could have happened?
You're right. It has to be like that. That's the only explanation. I'm sorry I just came out and blamed you for spending it like that.
Don't worry about it. There would be no reason for you to not believe what your mom said. I mean, it's my fault as well for listening to what she said to me about the payment. I felt like it didn't make much sense, but couldn't think of why she would lie.
I just can't understand why she would take that money. But more important than that right now, though, do we have enough to pay for it any other way?
We do have enough in another savings account. If we take it from that, we can pay. But things will get pretty hard for us for a while.
Well, there's nothing else we can do in this situation. We do need to pay this. I'll think of something later on. Sorry, but could you send the money for me? I will call the hospital and tell them that it's on the way.
That's fine. I will take care of it. What do you want to do about your mom, though? We need to talk to her about this to figure out what is going on.
I know. I'll try and call her myself, but I don't think she will pick up. Could you go and see if she is at home just in case?
Sure thing. I can do that. I'll send the money and then make my way over there. Let me know if you manage to get through to her. Jane, I am on my way to your place right now. Please reply when you get this message. But I will be there soon.
Zara, what's going on? Did something happen? Why do you need to come to my house?
Come on, there is no point in pretending that you don't know the reason. You've been ignoring all of Ryan's calls as well. You know exactly why I am on my way right now, don't you?
It must be about the money for Ellen's hospital bills, right? As soon as I got all those calls from Ryan, I guess that was what they were about.
Then since you know what this will be about, that will make things quicker. I'm just going to go right ahead and ask you then. Why did you do something like this? None of this makes sense to me.
There wasn't really any reason for it. I just needed a little bit of money, that's all. There's nothing more to it.
If that's really the reason, do you think that Ryan and I will just sit back and forget about this?
What do you mean by that? What are you going to do then?
We'll have you pay back the full amount, of course. If it comes to it, we will hire a lawyer and take you to court as well.
You're joking, right? You're going to sue a family member.
This wasn't just a small amount of money, you know. You might be family, but there is still a line. And what you did this time has definitely crossed that line. You stole a lot of money from us, and now you say that there was no reason for it at all?
So you're really serious about that?
Yes, we are. Although it's not something that we really want to do. We don't want to take you to court if we don't have to. So if there is an actual reason for why you did this, please tell me what it is. Maybe, depending on what the reason is, we won't have to go through with that and we can put an end to this.
Fine, I get it. There's no point in hiding anything anymore. I'll tell you everything.
Okay, good. Now we're getting somewhere. Then I will ask you one more time. Why would you do something like this?
I wanted to torment Helen a little bit. I wanted her to feel agitated.
What? You wanted to torment her? By taking the money that was meant for her hospital bills. This isn't just something small we're talking about. This isn't a prank or being annoying. This could have had real consequences. But why would you want to torment your own daughter in the first place?
Because I am so frustrated with everything. Ever since that girl was born, I have had to look after her constantly. Never a day's rest. It's always her.
Well, that's something that you have to do as her mother. She is sick, and so you have to look after her.
She has been in and out of the hospital more times than I can count. And even when she's at home, it's impossible to tell when she'll get worse again. I have been doing this for over 15 years. 15 years! Can you even imagine how hard this has been on me? Even if I am her mother, why does that mean that I have to do all of this for her? Aren't I a person too? Don't I deserve to live my life?
I know that it must have been very hard on you. I can't even really imagine how difficult it would be. And I'm sure you have been through some rough times yourself. But isn't that exactly the same for Ellen as well? She has been in pain and has suffered because of her health. She didn't become sick because she wanted to. She had no choice in that.
Of course I know that. You think I don't know that? But I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm completely at my limit. My entire life has been completely ruined because of her.
But you took the money for her medical bills away. You wanted to get revenge on your own daughter for something that she can't control?
Yes, that's what I wanted. I've had such a hard time of it, I thought it would be unfair unless she felt the same as me. Or what? Do you think that just because I am her mother that I have to be patient and put up with everything?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Even if you are a mother, you are still your own person with your own life. Hard things are still hard. And there are, of course, things that make you feel bad, even if they're because of your kids.
What? Do you mean that you can understand me?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I definitely can't understand what you did completely. Also, I don't have kids of my own yet. I also don't know just what you have been through in your life either.
But you can at least understand my reasoning behind it, though, right? So let's just ignore what happened this time.
Well, with the money, everything turned out okay this time, so we don't need to get it back from you. And you did have some kind of reason, so maybe we can pretend that didn't happen too. But are you really okay with that? You won't regret this, will you?
What? What is that supposed to mean?
I'm talking about what you did to your daughter. Is it really okay with you to just pretend that it didn't happen? We happened to have enough money saved up that we were still able to pay the bills in time. But what if we didn't? What do you think could have happened to Ellen?
I guess she would have had to leave the hospital, and she wouldn't be able to get the operation done.
But that would have just made her symptoms worse, not better. She could even have died if she didn't get the proper treatment.
That's just the worst case scenario. That wouldn't have actually happened.
How can you be so sure about that? You should know her state of health better than anyone. Can you really be so optimistic about it to say that nothing that bad would have happened to her? Since you're not replying, I think you know the answer to that yourself.
Okay, and so what? Are you trying to say that everything is my fault? That I am the only one who is wrong?
I told you that I am trying to understand your feelings. But if we imagine for a second what it would be like if things went as I said and she died, what do you think the rest of your life would be like?
I would finally be released from the burden of having to look after her. There would be nothing but good for me if that happened.
But you would have to live the rest of your life full of regret. You would have to live knowing that you were the reason your daughter died. Could you really live out your life without feeling anything about that?
I don't know. Maybe I could.
I can understand that things have been difficult for you as an individual, as your own person. But as a mother, what you did this time is really extreme. There are no winners in this scenario. And you would have suffered in the end as well if things went badly.
Zara, what am I supposed to do then?
You need to think about it yourself. Realize what it means to be a mother and what you need to do. Think about what's going to happen between you and Ellen from now on. Reflect on what you tried to do to her just now and find your own answer to your question. This time around, that is your punishment. When I arrived at Jane's house, she gave me back the money that she had taken before. She really did only do that to try and get some sort of sick revenge on Ellen and hadn't spent a single dollar of the amount that she had taken. Of course, that doesn't mean that what she did can be excused just because she didn't touch the money. However, after Ellen had the operation, her mom told her everything about what had happened and was honest about how she felt about looking after her for all these years and apologized to her. Ellen was understandably shocked to hear her mom say something like that, but tried to understand how she felt. And the two of them decided to keep some distance between them to stop their relationship from deteriorating further. In order to do this, after the operation and after Ellen was released from the hospital, she came to live with me and Ryan instead of going back home. Jane now lives at home by herself, but the two of them meet from time to talk and catch up a little bit about their lives. It's slow going and it will take a lot of time, but their relationship is slowly starting to mend itself and return to normal. Or at least as close to normal as it can be under the circumstances. Ellen herself feels better after the operation and was able to return to college not too long after she was released from the hospital. She is still physically weak, but being able to do things and see her friends has much improved her mental state of mind. Ryan and I will continue to look after her as long as we need to, and hope that her health improves as she becomes an adult. I also hope that she can one day have a better relationship with her mother, and even maybe forgive her one day for what she did. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content. See you next time!
Rose? Where are you guys? I don't see you outside anywhere. Did you park the car somewhere else? Jenny, I was just wondering about you. Where have you run off to this time, Run off to? I didn't go anywhere. I was just in the bathroom while we were at the gas station. I don't see the car anywhere, and I've been looking all over for you. Did you leave without me? I guess we must have, yeah. We're at the rest stop now, the one with the diner by the lake. The diner by the lake? Wait, you mean that rest? All the way down the interstate? You're kidding me, right? That's like dozens of miles away from here. What are we going to do? It'll take forever for you to come back for me. And you're still at the gas station, huh? Well now, how did that happen? I mean, I guess you somehow took off while I was still in the bathroom? I'm just impressed you guys actually forgot me. And since neither you nor Isaac are picking up the phone or reading my messages, I've just been sort of stranded here. That's odd. I could have sworn you were in the back seat with Isaac. I guess you're right. I must have accidentally left you behind. You seriously really just didn't notice I was there? Are you sure something else didn't happen? I mean, I don't want to be rude, but this isn't exactly like Kevin McAllister's mom forgetting him or something. There's only 5 of us, myself included, and we're not exactly driving a city bus. Wouldn't you have noticed right away if any of us were missing?
Hey, I was pretty preoccupied with the trip home, you know. You know how that is. Don't you ever get in the zone behind the wheel and forget something important? Besides, everyone else is taking a nap in the back, and I thought you were too. I figured we were all tired from being on the road since the crack of dawn, so I might as well just get a move on as soon as possible. I'm sure you can understand.
Sure, that makes sense. What should I do, though? It's not exactly like I can get a taxi or a ride out from here to there. I hate to ask, but could you please come and get me the next time you get a chance to turn around?
Gee, I'd love to, but considering how long it would take to come back for you, it'd be ages before we actually made it home. Besides, I don't even know if I have enough for the toll booze.
I mean, yeah, time will be a problem no matter what, but I promise you money is no issue. The car's got a card hooked up to it that just charges my credit card, so you can pass through the booth without even having to talk to anyone.
You know me, though. I'm horrible with directions. I know how to get home, but other than that, I'm as blind as a bat.
I guess, but there's a GPS system built in. You just need to put the name of the gas station into it, and it'll tell you where to go, no problem.
That's easy for you to say. I'm no good with this newfangled technology. We just had maps and people telling us instructions when I was growing up.
All right. I mean, if it seems like too daunting of a task for you, I think it might make sense for you to wake Isaac up and ask him to take over driving. I doubt he wants to leave his wife behind at the gas station either. I'm sure if he was awake and reading his messages, he'd feel the same.
Are you telling me to wake up my exhausted son and put him behind the wheel? Nonsense. He deserves a break from your incessant whining anyway. That's why I silenced his phone in the first place. I'm not going to put him through such an inconvenience at this point, and asking for more from him is just downright insensitive.
I agree it's inconvenient to wake him, but leaving me stuck at a gas station hours from home is already pretty inconvenient, I'd say. The ship has already sailed on avoiding any kind of trouble at this point, so shouldn't we just change course now to avoid making things worse?
I'm sorry, but I need to put my family first, Jenny. I hope you can understand this is just the sort of thing a mother has to do.
Am I not family at this point? I married your son. I bore the 2 grandchildren you cherish with your whole heart. What more do you want from me?
I appreciate that, I really do, but at the end of the day, you're a stranger to me. Nothing more, nothing less. Grandchildren or no, you will never be part of this family. A mysterious woman who lives off my son's hard-earned money and frankly doesn't contribute enough to justify it. Frankly, I don't think I owe you anything, and I'm not interested in pretending otherwise.
So, that's how you feel about me, huh? I have to be honest, the more you go on, the less likely the story about you accidentally leaving the gas station without me is sounding. If I had to guess, I'd say you might have waited for the kids and Isaac to fall asleep so you could ditch me on purpose.
Is that so? Well, you got me. I've been looking for a way to uproot the weeds growing in my family's garden for quite some time now. I knew I wouldn't be able to keep any charades for too long, but for as clever you are, even you need to be put in your place and told when you don't belong.
At least you're finally being honest with me. I can't say I've ever sensed any hostility from you before. Can you fill me in on what exactly I did wrong? If you talk to me, we could have a civilized discussion instead of whatever your master plan is here.
Civilized? Oh, please, there's simply nothing civil about you. Do you think I was born yesterday or something? I know exactly what you get up to, Missy.
I feel like I'm missing some key information here.
Don't try to hide behind your veneer of intelligence. I know you haven't been doing a single thing around the house. Not the dishes, not a single load of laundry, not even caring to sweep or vacuum the place. You've burdened my son with all these things he simply shouldn't be worried about. And as a wife and a mother, you should be ashamed of yourself.
And you heard this from Isaac, I take it?
Of course, he told me he was doing all the housework, and I was simply appalled. He even told me he has to go pick up the kids from school every day. Honestly, how lazy can you get?
Is that all he told you?
What more could he possibly need to tell me? The man works tirelessly all day to support the family financially, and then he has to come home and keep the house in order, too. That's just plain old sadistic, if you ask me. My son is a saint, and he deserves better than a rotten wife like you.
I had no idea this was your impression of me, nor that Isaac would go out of his way to paint me in such a light.
Sounds to me like you thought you could get away with your nasty, nefarious behavior, but now I've got you in hot water. I'm sure you don't have the good sense to talk to your parents regularly, but Isaac tells me everything. There's no use hiding it from me.
If you don't like me, that's one thing, but isn't leaving me stranded a little, extreme? What are you even trying to accomplish here, other than ruin my day?
True, this wasn't the most permanent way of stopping you from plaguing my son, but it taught you a valuable lesson that I hope you'll internalize soon. Anything that isn't needed around here is getting left behind, people included.
I assume you want me to just give up on the idea of you ever coming back for me, in that case?
Smart as a whip, I see. Took you long enough, but still glad you're finally taking a hint. My grandchildren deserve to be emancipated from the nasty woman they have to call their mother.
I see. So that's how it is. I guess I'll just have to find my own way out of here.
I know actually trying to work hard is a foreign concept for you, but I'm sure you'll manage. Maybe you can use your wiles to get some dope of a guy to drive you home.
Still, don't you think this is all going to blow up in your face when Isaac and the kids wake up and start asking about me? I mean, what are you going to do? Brainwash them in their sleep? Actually, I don't want to give you any ideas.
I have no need for anything of the sort. I'm simply doing what's right, and when my family wakes up, they will be relieved to know I've dealt with the miasma of suffering clouding their lives thus far. In fact, I have to say, it'd be best if you simply never came home at all, for their sake.
I imagined you'd say something like that. You're really serious about trying to get rid of me, huh?
I'm really serious about my son's happiness, and I won't let you stand in the way of that. Ugh. I can't wait to see the look on his face when I tell him I've taken care of things. As for you, why don't you just find a new life for yourself by the gas pumps, Honey, I'm home. Well, Jenny, how about yourself? Have you started working the register there? Or are you trying to hitch a ride home still?
I got my dad to come pick me up and take me back to my parents' place. I figured it would be best if I didn't try to come home tonight. It'll probably only make things worse between us. You don't have to worry about seeing me tonight, I promise.
Your parents, huh? That's disappointing. Here I was hoping you were gonna be stranded there all night, at least. Still, I can rest easy knowing how humiliating it must have been to ask your father to pick you up like you were some unruly teenager. Besides, they don't exactly live close by, and at this hour, my, the money for gas and time spent in traffic must have really added up. Have you no shame? Honestly, I thought you would have learned to live with the consequences of your actions, yet still you find ways to burden others with your mere existence.
I'm not super happy about it, but what else was I supposed to do? You didn't exactly leave me with a lot of options here. If you want to blame anyone or make anyone feel ashamed for the grievance you've caused me or my family, you should blame yourself, Rose.
Oh, please, if you really wanted to save anyone some trouble, you could have just walked until you could hail a cab.
Walk? Alongside the highway? That's ludicrous, both in terms of danger and distance, and you know it.
So, do you honestly think I care about your well-being? After all you've put my darling son and his children through, you wretch. You act like I'm not sitting here waiting for you to get hit by a car. That's the sort of thing that would really take you out of the picture.
How can you say that sort of thing? Even to someone you don't like. That's beyond rude. insulting, humiliating. That's just downright barbaric.
Oh, please. I'm sure Isaac has been praying for something far worse to happen to you after the kind of low-class wife you've been to him. My suspicions about his underlying hatred of you are only being confirmed as I take a little tour of his house of yours. I mean, this place is filled with all sorts of gadgets and opulent nonsense. Just look at the size of your TV. Let me guess, you paid for all of this extravagance with my son's money, too, didn't you?
So, leaving me stranded wasn't enough. Now you're ransacking my abode? The barbaric stuff is just getting more and more out by the minute.
Well, if I'm going to live here, it stands to reason I should at least give the place a once-over, no matter how revolted I am.
If you're going to... I'm sorry, is there something wrong with you? Like, genuinely. Like ditching me on the side of the road and telling me to get hit by a car? That's one thing, and something I can guess I can understand if you've decided on hating me. But at this point, the logic is either non-existent or downright perverse. Do you honestly think my family isn't going to notice I'm not home with them? And I can't believe I'm saying this. If you're about to tell me you're going to plan to dress up like me and become your son's wife, I'm going to be sick. I swear to God, I will call the cops or an exorcist. Maybe both.
Oh, you're good for a laugh. I can give you that much. Too bad you're not making money as a stand-up. Then maybe I'd go a little easier on you. Truth is, the kids and Isaac were half asleep once we pulled into the garage. I told them he went out to the grocery store and they bought it, and he carried them inside so they could all keep napping together.
Congratulations! You bought yourself some time. Now what's the next step of your master plan? Do you expect them to sleep forever? Put them in cryostasis? They're people, Rose. They're your own flesh and blood, which you claim to always put first. Despite the fact that you're continually pulling the wool over their eyes.
Trust me, they'll come to consciousness and their senses soon enough, and they'll see how good they have it with me and without you.
You're not taking the whole impersonating me idea seriously, are you?
Why would I want to impersonate a good-for-nothing she-scoundrel like yourself, huh? If you want to talk about being taken seriously, you should have heard what your own husband said about you behind your back.
And what would that be?
I'll have you know that Isaac called you a vampire, a blood-sucking creature who steals away his money and his will to live. He told me in confidence that marrying you was the single biggest mistake of his life, and he would take it all back if he could, even if it meant not having the children. He'd choose losing the children if it meant he could lose you, Jenny.
He'd really go so far to say something like that?
Of course he would. I'm his mother, and he'd never lie to me. Not that you'd know anything about that. I doubt the kids would trust you even when they're your age. Still, if you don't want to take my word for it, why not ask him yourself? Unless that is you too scared to hear the truth from his mouth.
Of course I'm going to ask him if he really meant it.
He's been so resilient in the face of such hardship. That's my son for you. He can't go on any longer, though, and that's why I've come to save him from you.
I don't know. Something tells me you'd make any excuse to insert yourself as the hero of this story, with me as some kind of tempting villainess. Do you honestly expect me to believe you care about him or the kids when I see how feverishly intent you are on making me suffer in these cruel and unusual ways?
Hold your tongue, you vile woman. You truly are insidious, you know that? To think my son has lived with someone of your temperament for 5 years. Even the most lowly woman would have the common decency to accept this is what's best for their men and children by this point, and yet you still put up a fight. I'm beginning to suspect you're not even human at all.
Can I be honest with you, Rose? I don't buy any of this, not for 1 second. I don't believe for a single second that my husband, the man I have loved every day we've been together, would say the kinds of things you claim. At the very least, I don't think he'd unload all of this onto you without ever once showing me a glimpse of remorse for marrying me or for us having children.
as usual, you're taking his immense gentle heart for granted. Of course, he's far too sweet of a man to ever say something so biting to your face. Of course, you seem incapable of appreciating his hard work and dedication in the first place, no matter how much work you leave him to do. You do realize I don't make him do the housework, right? Not that I want you finding out the things we get up to in our personal time, but I don't exactly whip him when he doesn't do the dishes. He cleans things and takes care of the house of his own volition, of his own interest, because he's a caring, good guy, like you said. I'm sure that's easy pill to swallow, feeding yourself this garbage about his interests while you leave a dirty mess of a home for him to toil over. He's been telling me this whole time about how much deep aching pain he's in from having to do that sort of thing day in and day out. It's a broom and dustpan, Rose, not a jackhammer. Anyways, I'd really appreciate it if you stopped putting words in your son's mouth. It's getting a little old at this point. What's getting old is hearing your vain, empty attempts to avoid taking accountability for your own wretched behavior. This is why I was opposed to you two being married. I knew you weren't the right one for him in the slightest. Women who marry men younger than them always carry this disgusting, obnoxious sense of superiority, and you're no different. Well, at least you finally stopped pretending you despise me for anything I actually did. Unless loving your son is now suddenly a sin? I've known you hated my guts since the moment we first met, but this is even more than I could have imagined. Don't you hear how evil you sound? I try to be subtle and give hints over the past decade, but since you're clearly too thick-headed to understand, I've had to opt for a different approach. The time for diplomacy has ended, and the gloves are solidly off, you cradle robber. Huh? I am 3 years older than him. That's a bit of a stretch, even for you. All right, fine. There's no bargaining with you. I'll quit trying to come home. That's what you want, right? That's more like it. I'd stick to your word if I were you. I think you'll find your welcome less than warm if you decide to show up. I hear you loud and clear at this point. Don't worry. Good. Finally, I can rid Isaac of the leech that's been clamped to his skin, draining his life force with every whim and worry-free purchase made on his dollar. Now, do me a favor and be gone from my sight, permanently. Back to your rotten tricks, So much for keeping your word and understanding my wrath. And don't even think about denying it. This has you written all over it. What has me written all over it? Sorry, I'm not sure I'm following. My grandchildren aren't home and it's the middle of the day. That's very slick of you, picking them up from school and luring them away from their own family, you sick, sick woman. You will return them to me at once. I didn't do anything, and even if I did, I would be picking them up as their mother, not some stranger danger character, you freakish old woman. Besides, if anyone picked them up, it was Isaac, who does that every day, of his own volition. In fact, maybe he did what he always does and brought them back to their mother like they want. Are you out of your mind? Are you? I'd imagine you'd have to be to separate children from their mother who did them no harm. I would describe someone who wants to split a loving husband and wife apart as pretty out of her mind, personally. Enough. Start explaining yourself now. What did you do to coerce Isaac into handing them over to you, huh? Nothing, really. He's a free-thinking and acting man, and all that happened is that we decided to see each other. We're considering a divorce because of your actions. Well, that sounds sensible enough. Still, I would have liked if you had gotten divorced much sooner. Well, that's your favorite opinion, isn't it? On the other hand, Isaac seems really torn up about it, and he really only wants us to separate if it's absolutely necessary. And by the way, when I asked him about the things you said he told you, he called it a gross exaggeration of the truth. All right, I played things up a bit, so what? Since when is being dramatic a crime? They give out awards for that sort of thing, I'll have you know. More importantly, if your little domestic snafu has been solved, it's time for you to give me back my grandchildren, you witch. Those poor babies. The two of them must be miserable without their lovely grandmother at their side.
I wouldn't be too worried about them if I were you. Not to rain on your parade, but when I saw them now for the first time in a week, and I asked them if they were okay, they only had bad things to say about you.
Enough! I won't fall for this sort of mind game so easily.
There's no mind game, honest. They just told me plainly, in the way only little kids their age can, that they hated their grandma. It's just heartbreaking to hear, isn't it? According to them, they never wanted to see you again, even if it meant we had to find a new home and a new school.
That's impossible. My own flesh and blood would never. What have you done? You brainwashed them too, haven't you? You haven't done anything to deserve their love. You're just a lazy, money-grabbing mosquito of a woman in more ways than one.
Right. And just to be clear, whose money am I grubbing on exactly?
What ridiculous thing to ask. You're leeching off my son's salary, of course.
Right. Your son. My husband. Who is not making any money at the moment. Is that who I'm leeching money off?
Not making any... What?
Isaac's been a stay-at-home dad for a while now, Rose. You didn't know that? I thought he told you anything and everything.
What kind of drivel are you spouting this time? There's no way that's true. My son is nothing short of an elite. The boy was a valedictorian on the dean's list and worked his way up to the top of the corporate ladder. He'd never do something so soft.
Well, your elite son packed up his office 3 years ago, after the children were born.
That makes 0 sense at all. That would make it an incomeless household. You quit work as soon as you got hitched to him, didn't you?
I did quit the job I had, that part is true, but I kept on working freelance, and I've been doing so ever since. Do you not remember me mentioning that at the wedding?
I thought freelance was just one of those words your generation uses when they mean they're broke.
You've got some learning to do, I guess. I'm an interior designer with a good reputation and circle of people, a well-polished portfolio, and an attractive website. I really don't need an office job. I've explained this to you dozens of times by this point, but I guess it never stuck with you, did it?
Oh, phooey! Nobody cares that much about work you can do from home, let alone on the internet. I'm sure you've just been gorging yourself on whatever extravagant severance package they gave Isaac, and you're just patting yourself on the back here.
If that's what you want to believe, then go right ahead. It's a free country, after all. Whether or not you want to believe me when I say he didn't get any severance pay when he left is similarly up to you.
No severance pay? Explain, now.
Sure, although it's hardly mind-blowing. Like you said, Isaac was at the top of his company, and he's interested in going back to work when the kids are a little less of a handful. Of course, the others recognized his value and want him back, too, so not giving him severance is more like insurance that he'll come back. Meanwhile, I've been getting more and more work steadily, especially with Isaac fully committed to things like picking the kids up and housework. In other words, we can live comfortably just on my paycheck, and Isaac is very satisfied with me being the breadwinner.
I feel like I'm in some kind of parallel universe.
Yeah, or maybe the world has moved on from your backwards idea of how starting a family works. Why should Isaac be expected to do all the work and I be expected to do all the keeping of the house? If anything, you should be relieved that the two of us are as comfortable and secure in our respective masculinity and femininity, not repulsed. That's the only reason anyone ascribes to these gender roles, you know, to validate this fear people like their backwoods parents impose on them.
Oh, save it for whatever college you got your liberal arts degree from, Jenny. Besides, your story is a sham and I can prove it. If Isaac quit his job years ago like you say, how come I haven't heard anything about it until now,
Right, and you feel like Isaac would be comfortable telling you he wanted to be a house husband full-time? Is that so? Can you honestly say you wouldn't look down on your son if he told you the truth? I'd love to be proven wrong here.
My own son lied to me?
He had to keep up quite the extensive facade to make sure you were happy, and it's been quite draining for the both of us. If you want to know why divorce is on the table for us, it's because we're not sure if we can bear to do this anymore. The kids are young now, but if they grow up thinking that we're some kind of shapeshifters who exist to please you, the whole point of parenthood is to try to make sure your kids come out better than you. But if you had your way, I'd be raising my children to be monsters.
He took them away to save them from me then? Fine. You're too good to let the kids see me, but why would Isaac quit his job? Even if you could support him, why would he want to leave the top of the ladder?
Being at the top of the ladder is exactly why he left in the first place. What are you supposed to do with yourself when you spend your whole life climbing only to find there's no more rungs to grab one day? Can you blame him for wanting a break from that kind of intense, fast-paced life?
He quit an executive position over something so trivial.
I felt the same when he first told me he was leaving, but hey, it's a matter of pride. If he was pushed to work even more, it might just break him. Besides, he wants to go back someday. He's just been trying not to burn out and spending his energy on being there for the kids. Which, is the whole reason the two of us want to work in the first place.
That foolish, no-good son of mine. Why didn't he just get a different job, huh? What an idiot!
I think you're missing the point, Rose, but whatever.
At this point, I'm afraid to ask, but just how much money are you making to support my oaf of a son, anyway?
Yearly? I'd say in the ballpark of $300,000.
Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I work for pretty important clients, and they're willing to shell out lots of money for huge, elaborate design work. That's pretty much what I've been alluding to this whole time, yeah.
But if you get divorced, how will he support himself? How will he support me?
I dunno, and frankly, I don't really care. I'm really interested in providing for my family,
But I'm your family. You can't take me away from my grandchildren. That's unthinkable.
Is it any worse than you raising my children in my house? Keeping them away from me? Who's to say, right? As far as us being family goes, well, Isaac signed those divorce papers while you were blustering about him being a fool. The ink's just about to dry, so I ought to take this down to the courthouse soon. I guess that makes us less like family and more like strangers at this point, right?
What? You actually went through with it?
That's right, with heavy hearts.
Well, when is he coming home then?
Back to that house? He said he didn't have any interest in being anywhere you are. After all, you did just destroy what was a happy marriage. What kind of sick woman tries to take her son away from his own children and then expects him to take care of her? He's a gentle soul, it's true, but you've awakened a deep, biting hatred inside of him after what you've done.
And all because I wanted to make sure he was okay? So what if I told a few lies? It was to protect him. Where's he going to go from here on out anyways?
Isaac and I are on good terms, and of course he wants to see the kids and be a part of their life, but he's not ready to go back to the office yet. A friend of his owns a mechanic shop downtown, and since he likes fixing the car and that sort of thing, he's going to work there for a while. It'll be a nice change of pace for him, having a job where everyone isn't at each other's throats.
That's ridiculous. He's not some dirty, oil-stained mechanic type. He's never told me he had any interest in that sort of work. That's beneath a man of his caliber.
Again, just because he didn't tell you, it doesn't mean it's not true. Maybe he didn't want to be humiliated by his own mother who's put him through so much torment.
I don't believe this. How could that little brat stab me in the back like this, time after time? Marry a wretched woman like yourself, fancying himself some kind of moronic, effeminate husband, and now this? This? Tell him to answer his phone and apologize to me now.
Sorry, he already left, and besides, I don't think he wants to talk to you because he knew this is exactly how you treat him. Besides, what he wants to do is his business, not mine. I love him, and if this is what he needs to feel happy, to feel like he's not under your thumb, he deserves that.
So what am I supposed to do now? Just live in this big empty place by myself? What am I going to do for money?
Oh, wow, yeah, I almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me.
Reminding you? Does this mean you're going to support me?
Oh, you're good for a laugh, I can give you that much. But no, not in your wildest dreams are you going to see a shred of financial support from me.
All right then, spit it out.
That place isn't really fit to be lived in as of today. I mean, it's in pristine condition right now, but it's technically condemned.
And let me guess, you own this place, don't you? So you want to kick me out?
Well, I do own it, but even if it was Isaac's, I wouldn't recommend staying very long. The place is about to be demolished after all, so I'd say you should keep your visit very, very brief at this point.
Demolished?
Yeah, someone in the neighborhood wanted to buy up the land the house is on as part of some elaborate hotel construction job. We were planning to stay there at least until the kids were a little older, so I was on the fence up until now. Thanks to you forcing us all out of the house with that rancid personality of yours, I was able to sell the land off guilt-free.
You sold the house?
Mm-hmm. A money-grubbing mosquito woman like me has to make money somehow, right? Plus, with the construction plan and the prime real estate, I was able to get some serious buck for all the bang they're going to do.
But I already ended my lease with my apartment when I came up with my plan to usurp you.
And what a usurping it was. You better get a move on, though, otherwise you're going to be homeless or blown to bits soon enough. Still, all the other unnecessary stuff in that house is being discarded or exploded anyway, so why not join in on the fun?
Unnecessary? Who's unnecessary? How can you say such awful things to an old woman like myself?
Whoops! Slip of the tongue, I guess. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say to you. Do me a favor and keep yourself in one piece, okay? Or don't. I'm not interested in keeping tabs on you anyways. I'll be excusing myself from the conversation and your life now.
Hang on. Hang on! This isn't right. We're not done here in the slightest. You can't take me away from my son. You can't keep me from seeing my darling grandchildren.
I didn't do anything. You were the one who pushed everyone away, and now it's time for you to live with that.
Wait, I didn't want to hurt anyone, I promise. I'll take it back. I'll change my ways. Just come back here so we can be a real family together. I'll do whatever it takes. I won't ever see Isaac either, if that's what you want. Just please. Please don't take the kids.
Isaac and I separated quite peacefully and fully intent on staying involved with each other, just not legally. It was clear we just needed our own time and space to process what Rose had put us through, and I was happily willing to forego tradition to do that. As far as Isaac goes, the guy's positively filthy whenever I come see him at work, covered in dark smudges of grease and oil. Beneath that exterior, though, he smiles bigger and brighter now than he ever did in a suit and tie, and for the man I love, that's all I could ever ask for. The kids were confused as to why their parents weren't together, but when they saw how glad he was to see them when I took them to his shop, I think they got it. They hadn't endured the watchful gaze of Rose nearly as long as he had, but even at their young age, those two could value the feeling of being free from her. Their upbringing might be unorthodox, but my hope is that if we find our own joy, we can spare them from being burdened with the sorrow we impose on them. More than the fact that she left me deserted on the road, more than the fact that she took the kids and my husband away from me, that was Rose's biggest sin in my opinion. No matter how hard Isaac worked, how hard he pushed himself to make her happy and proud, it was clear she was greedy enough to always want more out of him. Speaking of her, I heard she stayed in that house, paralyzed with fear, until the construction company called the cops on her and had her arrested as a squatter. The last I heard of her, she showed up at my parents' house of all places, begging for help from them after she'd been buried in debt. Ironic, given she tried to shame me for asking them for help after she abandoned me, but whatever. As you can imagine, they said no, and she vanished after that. Good riddance, I'd say. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe to see more videos like it soon.
Hey, babe. I just got home.
What? You just got home from my parents' house? You left so early in the morning, too. Were you really there all day?
Yeah? I feel like your mom is just always so sarcastic and judgy with me. I know I should be there for her, but she forced me to help her with chores and errands all day long. I wish she would treat me nicer for helping her out all of the time, you know?
Yeah, trust me, I know how she can be. But I also know that you're doing great, so thank you for always helping out my mom. She must really like you if she's always requesting you to help her too.
What makes you think that she likes me? She talks down to me while forcing me to do work for her.
Okay, well that may be true, but she rarely ever calls anyone over to the house and doesn't trust a lot of people. She has to like you just a little if she's always willing to have you over. You go over so often to help her, and you're with her all day long. If she didn't like you, I don't think that she would want to see you at all.
When will you quit your job? When will you have children? If you don't get pregnant soon, you will no longer be able to conceive. You are so hopeless when it comes to cooking and cleaning. What has happened to your generation not knowing how to act like a proper woman? Those are just some of the many things she says to me while I'm with her.
Don't take what she says to heart, okay? You know that my mom is like old-fashioned and a bit stuck in her own ways. That's how she's always been. She's having a hard time accepting that things are different in the world now, just like a lot of older people these days.
I don't think that's the whole reason why she says those things to me. I have mentioned this to you many times before about how she treats me. She just doesn't like me. She treats me this way on purpose. Why won't you believe me when I tell you this?
She does like you. I know my mom, and it's not easy for her to make conversation and engage in small talk with people. I'm sure it's just a mix of her awkwardness and being old-fashioned. I feel like you're just overthinking it.
Overthinking? I'm pretty sure anyone would find the things she says rude and off-putting. It just makes me sad that you still try and defend her even though she has said horrible things to me. This whole situation with your mom just puts me in a bad mood. She should treat me better.
Look, Bella, I think it's time that you try and grow up a little bit, okay? Not everyone is going to agree with you all the time, and everyone has a different way of showing affection. I also get that it's a stereotype for a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law to not always get along well, but this is reality. Try not to let that stereotype get to your head. It's immature of you to think that way at this age.
Do you think I'm immature?
In some ways, yeah, I do.
If you can't listen to my concerns about how I am being treated, who am I supposed to rely on? Tyler, you are my husband. Why can't you accept the fact that your mom is mistreating me?
I just don't want to make a big deal out of something that isn't a real issue. I don't think my mom is doing anything wrong, that's all.
Can you just think for yourself rather than taking your mom's side all of the time? Nothing ever seems to please her, no matter how hard I work. Do you really see nothing wrong with how she treats me?
It's only natural that I take my mom's side. I'm her only son after all. But my dad is really nice to you, isn't he?
Yes, he is. But that's not the issue here. We are talking about your mom's behavior.
Well, it's not like your dad treats me all that well. He is very strict with me whenever I see him. But you don't see me complaining to you about it and making a big deal, do you? So that's why I just think everything is fine. Just keep my mom out of things, okay?
If my dad is doing something that bothers you or is saying rude things to you, I would want you to tell me. What has he said to you?
It doesn't matter.
At least I would take your side and try to help you. You don't even care to listen to what I have to say. I wanted to relax today since it was my day off of work, but I ended up working for your mom anyway. At first, she messaged me super early in the morning saying there was an emergency. By the time I got there, she only needed me to change a light bulb, and then she handed me a list of chores. After that, I was stuck with her all day.
My mom isn't good at changing light bulbs, and of course, at her age, she needs more help around the house. Don't you feel happy that she relies on you?
Just forget it. It's pointless to talk to you about any concerns I have regarding your mom.
All I want is for you and her to get along. I don't want to take any sides. You're both right. How does that sound? Let's forget about this and move on.
You just want to move on and forget things, even though what your mom is doing is hurting my feelings and making me feel awful about myself?
It's not like she means any harm. Try not to get too heated over this, okay? Oh, what should we have for dinner tonight? Any ideas?
I'm tired, so I was thinking of just ordering a pizza.
Oh, that sounds perfect. I was craving pizza.
Why can't your mom ask you to help out more with housework? I hate being too tired to cook. Remember how we talked a while back about you helping your parents out more instead of me doing it all of the time? You still haven't done a single thing for them. I'm tired.
Sorry, but I just don't have the time. You have more time to do things like this. You have more days off than I do.
I only get one more day off work than you do. I like to do my own cooking and errands on the days I do have off. It's not like you go grocery shopping or go to the gym. Speaking of work, I actually have a business trip to go on next month.
What? A business trip?
Yeah, I'm meeting a client in Minnesota for a little while. I'll be gone for 5 days.
Okay then, I'll make sure the house is all nice and clean for when you get back. How does that sound? Let's put this conversation behind us and I'll try again to help out more.
Okay, fine. But don't worry about cleaning my office. I have a lot of important paperwork in there that I have organized on my desk, so please don't move anything around or clean in there. I don't want something to accidentally be thrown away.
Okay, sounds good. I won't touch a thing. Well, I should get back to work now.
Okay, good luck. I'll see you later. But please think things over about your mom. That's all I ask, okay? I feel like if things don't change, one day my feelings are going to pour out and things will end horribly. That's the last thing I want to happen. Babe, can you hurry up and get home? I need a proper explanation.
I'm sorry. I have to work overtime again today.
Ugh! I don't want to be alone with your mom any longer. It's bad enough that she's here at all, with no heads up, but you're not even here to help out? Plus, she's trying to make me clean the house right now. I literally just got back home. I want to relax.
Can't you just help her with whatever she needs help with? Can you just try and suck it up? Chores aren't that hard.
Suck it up? Are you being serious? Also, you still aren't answering my question. I asked you to give me a proper explanation as to why you told your mother she can move in with us. Do you even know how surprised and shocked I was when I came home to see your mom walking in with boxes? And to think that you would offer my office for her to move into. I just can't believe you right now.
I do apologize for not telling you sooner, but you need to think about the well-being of my mom more. How do you think she feels after my dad told her to leave?
That whole situation is your mom's fault. How about feeling sorry for your dad? She has been secretly spending your dad's savings and retirement money for her own shopping sprees. She got what she deserved. He had no choice but to kick her out and leave her. This argument seemed to be the final straw for him.
It's not entirely her fault. Plus, how is she supposed to find a place to live when she doesn't have a job? She is a person who needs help right now. Why can't you see that?
Even if she is in her early 60s, she still should be able to get a job and at least make a living for herself. We both work hard to live where we do now. Why can't she try and work? Plus, she treats me like trash and we have a poor relationship. I don't feel indebted to her at all. And you should have talked to me before making such a big decision like this. Your decision affects me too.
To be honest, I knew you would be against the idea of her moving in. That's why I didn't say anything to you in the first place.
Of course you would do something like that. Even though your mom is nasty to me and forces work on me all of the time. How about we do this? You get paid enough at your job to afford a little one-bedroom apartment, right? I can also pitch in some money and we can get her her own place.
No, we can't do that. My mom needs love and support right now. I also don't feel comfortable with her living all by herself. My dad actually plans on divorcing her.
Really?
It seems like many other things have happened between them. My mom needs all the help that she can get right now. What happens if she gets too stressed living alone, or she has an accident doing housework? I just feel so bad for her.
Then look into getting her a nurse to check in on her. They also have programs that you can pay for these days to help out the elderly. I don't think that she is so old that she can't be independent, but if you are this worried about her, then you have options.
What? I'm not doing that. She can stay with us. We have a whole room that she can use. You do hybrid work, and you only work from home 3 times a week now. Why not just go into the office every day?
That's not how my job works. I have to have an office at home for my supplies and computer. I need my own space to do the work that I'm given to do at home. I also share an office at work with someone else, which is why I only go in sometimes. I can't share my home office with someone else or give it up. I also just don't want to live with your mom.
You don't have to be so cold-hearted. We are all family and have to look out for each other. I'll make sure to keep an eye on her behavior for you, okay?
I don't care. I just don't want her living with us, period.
Really? Everything is going to be fine. Stop being so dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic. She treats me so horribly. You don't even know half of what I put up with when I'm around her. I really don't want this.
I just don't understand you sometimes. I think this would be a good opportunity for you to get along with her better. You don't know until you try.
You are the only person who thinks that everything will be okay. I'm telling you right now, I will never get along with someone like her. My feelings aren't going to change for her. You need to find another place for her to live. I will even help out financially. I just can't have her living with us. That's my final answer. I have nothing else to say to you.
What the hell, Bella? Why are you acting like this? I heard that you refused to make my mom lunch. Go to the kitchen and make her what she wants.
I'm busy with work right now. That's why I can't.
Can you at least make her a good dinner then?
If you are so worried about your mom eating lunch, then why don't you make her one? I just don't have the time to do that. I work a lot too. Anyway, why should I have to cater to your mom? Your mom is constantly asking me to do something for her as if I'm some sort of maid. You're her son. Why can't you help take care of her a little?
She is asking you to help her, not me.
I don't understand your reasoning. Plus, if your mom is hungry, why can't she make food for herself? I saw her getting up and eating the snacks that we bought. If she can do that, then why can't she cook a meal for herself? I just don't understand any of this.
Cooking must be hard for her. Go easy on her. Can you just go one day without complaining? She can eat our snacks if she wants to as well. It's not the end of the world.
I use my own money to buy those snacks and groceries. She has been living with us for about 2 weeks now and you haven't lifted a finger to help. Well, I'm over here waiting on her hand and foot. I need something to change. She can't keep staying here.
So you're saying that you want me to kick her out just like my dad did? I can't do that to her. Listen, babe. We're a married couple, which means we need to be there for each other and help each other out. I'm starting to get really irritated by this whole situation. Can you please just help me out here?
I have been doing all of the work to take care of your mom lately. I'm so sick of you not helping me. I'm exhausted.
Can you still make lunch for my mom? Bella, can you answer me at least? Hey, Bella, are you still not coming home?
Nope.
You're acting like a child. Just stop this nonsense and come home.
There is no place for me at home. Your mom constantly bugs me and asks me to do things for her. She interrupts my work and I haven't been able to get anything done. There is always something she needs me to do, and if I don't do it, I never hear the end of it. I can't keep dealing with this. Do you think I want to live like that?
You're really acting like a child just because of my mom? Oh, just stop. Hurry up and come home. You at least have a place to come home to. I can't believe an adult at your age can still act like this.
I am giving you one last chance to think about my personal well-being.
Last chance? What is that supposed to mean?
It means that I'm most likely never going to come home, so think about things carefully. If you love your mom to the point where you are letting her treat me poorly, then you two can happily live alone together forever. I'll happily divorce you and move on with my life.
Oh, you can't be serious. A divorce?
I actually went and met up with your dad after I left home. I told him everything that was going on and he offered me his house.
Why would he do that? He was supposed to give that house to me in the future. That's what he always used to tell me. How could he betray both my mom and me?
He plans on giving nothing to you or your mom. He knows more than anyone the type of person your mom is and the type of person you have become. So, I'll live in this house and you and your mom can do whatever you want in that one.
You're joking, right?
Nope. I'm being absolutely serious. I have already made all of the preparations I need to.
What the hell do you mean, Bella? How can you just be so selfish?
You are the one that's being ignorant and selfish. I have told you over and over again my feelings toward your mom. I explained to you how she treats me and I've put up with it for so long. You don't even care how I feel. You are such a lousy and good-for-nothing husband. You can't even stand up to your own mom.
I can stand up to her. I never thought that you hated my mom that much until you mentioned the divorce. I'm sorry.
I never thought I would have to mention a divorce for you to finally take me seriously. But I have already decided to go through with it. Your mom has hurt my feelings a lot over the years, and I have been through a lot. But at the end of the day, the person I am most disappointed in and angry at is you.
Me? Why me?
Yes, you! We both work, but you also force me to do everything else. I never get a break. How can I work, take care of your mother, and take care of you all at once? You never even spoke to your mother about how she treats me either. You just let it happen. Not only that, you moved her in without talking to me. That was our personal space to live in, and you brought the one person I couldn't stand into it. I can't be with someone who hurts me like this.
Hold on a second, Bella. I'm sorry. I'll apologize, okay?
It's too late for an apology now.
But I don't want us to get divorced. We were doing so well other than my mom being involved.
Do you just never listen to anything I say? How many times do I have to tell you the same things over and over again about how I've been feeling? If you don't understand, even now, then this relationship has truly been lost. There is no saving it.
Oh, please, Bella. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for being so selfish. I'm sorry that I didn't take the issues between you and my mom seriously. Babes, I love you. There's no reason to get divorced. I'll think about having my mom move out, okay?
Talk to me when it's happened. And I'm not helping you with the process. I was being nice earlier, but it is now your responsibility to get your mom out. I also have no intentions of ever getting along with your mom or having anything to do with her in the future.
Huh? So now you aren't helping me?
Of course not! Shouldn't that be obvious after everything that has happened? Besides, I have done enough already. You haven't done a single thing for your mom.
But you're the one who brought up finding her another place to live. Also, she can't go back to my dad's place. There is no fixing that relationship. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Oh, please come back home to me and we can both chip in to help my mom go somewhere else, okay?
You make enough money to take care of it yourself. I have a feeling this is just going to turn into another senseless argument now. It's not like I had gotten my hopes up when you said you would have her move out. I knew there would be a catch and you most likely wouldn't follow through. Your attitude just proved to me once more that you aren't someone I can rely on.
No, I get it, okay? I'll take care of everything. I'll kick my mom out and you won't have to lift a finger or spend a single penny.
Are you really going to do it? I still don't think you have what it takes. Your whole life you have done nothing but whatever your mom has told you to.
I don't think there is anything wrong with that, though. I only wanted to be a good son. It's really difficult for me to choose between you and my own mom.
This wouldn't even be happening if you didn't tell her to come to live with us in the first place. I don't get why you even suggested it. You said before that you didn't want to take sides, but in reality, you have always been on her side.
That's not entirely true.
Whenever she would make fun of me, all you did was laugh along and agree with her. It would make me feel sick to my stomach. Everything throughout our relationship has always been about prioritizing your mom. You never stood up for me once. Never. I'm at my limit. There is no saving us. I don't need you. It's not worth it.
No, wait, please. I'm sorry. I'm gonna change. Just wait. I'm gonna become the husband that you have always wanted, I promise.
Oh, please. Change? You are a mama's boy and will forever be one. You have had plenty of chances to change, but never have for years. You're a hopeless, good-for-nothing husband.
Oh, please, forgive me. I know you have given me many chances, but it's different this time. Just one more final chance. That's all I need.
If I keep giving you chances, nothing will ever change. I'm done. I have no more room for disappointment in my life.
I'm sorry, Bella. I'm so sorry. I am really ready to leave my mom. I'm gonna put my foot down. Oh, please, just come home. Once my mom is gone, things will go back to the way they were. I'm gonna fix everything. Just wait.
You can send me all the messages you want of things you are going to do, but words are different than actions. Once you are in front of your mom, I know you won't be able to do it. But you have to understand that your mom isn't what pushed me over the edge. It was you. I don't plan on being your wife with or without your mom in the picture. Goodbye. A lot of things have gone down lately. Tyler and his mom took me and his dad to court about the house. Luckily, since the house was under his dad's name, he could do what he wanted with it. Tyler and his mom quickly lost the court case and the house was officially mine. Me and Tyler's dad made a pretty good team. I guess we bonded over the fact that we both disliked Tyler's mom. We had no intentions of forgiving them or letting them have anything. We also had a tough time with our divorces. Tyler and his mom did everything in their power to make the divorces difficult. They would not respond or they would avoid signing the papers. It was all a mess. But after many months, both divorces are final. When it was all over, I was just happy and relieved that things went smoothly in court. It's been a tough year. It turned out Tyler was never planning on telling his mom to leave, but that was easy to predict. They still lived together after all of this time. I got the news that Tyler and his mom had to downsize and find a small and cheap apartment to live in. I guess they are struggling with money, but who wouldn't be, living with a parasite like his mom? At one point, Tyler started to realize his mom was spending all of his money and never did anything around the apartment. They claim to be good friends, but I hear they argue every day. Hearing that honestly filled me with a bit of joy, knowing he was finally getting a taste of the hell I went through for so long. Tyler's dad found himself a luxury retirement home and I moved into the house. I still can't believe he gave it to me. He told me that after all of the trouble I went through dealing with his wife and son, I deserved it. I'm thankful that kind people like him still exist in this world. I'm doing really well living all on my own now. I have always been an independent type of person anyway. Or I guess being with someone like Tyler has taught me to live without expecting any help in life. It's nice having a whole house to myself and being able to focus on my work. I am off to a new start and better life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content. See you next time.